What's up, Hoopers? Are you dealing with jumper's knee, meaning pain below your knee when jumping or playing basketball? We're gonna go over one exercise you have to be doing part of your rehab to make sure you improve the capacity of the tendon so it doesn't constantly flare up. My name is Dr. Marco Lopez, Doctor of Physical Therapy and Certified Strength and Conditioning Specialist and co-founder of the Basketball Doctors. And we talk about jumper's knee. One of the biggest things I tell people is that rest is not your answer. You have to be doing your rehab. And when you're doing your rehab, you sometimes slightly decrease the load that you're doing, meaning you might not be doing 3 a day, maybe you do 2 a days when you're training. That while we are working on improving the capacity of your tendon so you can do the 3 a days. So you're not completely resting, you're just decreasing the load a little bit while you improve the capacity of the tendon. We talk about more about jumper's knee in this video here, everything about jumper's knee and the differences and why not to rest it. And in regards to Jumpers Knee Rehab, we have an 8-week online Jumpers Knee Rehab Program. The link is in our description, it's on our website, great resource. But let's just jump into it. Let's go into that eccentric overload jump, which is crucial and part of the rehab. Because one of the things that we talk about is when we land from a jump, a lot of people start having pain, or when we're decelerating, stepping here, because we're eccentrically loading that. And when we eccentrically load that, the tendon starts to get us some adaptations, but early on, it just gets irritated. So here's an exercise that you do part of your rehab to increase that load capacity of the tendon. And we're gonna talk about an eccentric overload. So an eccentric overload is when we jump higher than we normally do, and then we stick the landing. So our body could start adapting to that increased height and that load. So our quads have to work harder, our tendons have to work harder, and it's a great way to build up that capacity. And the way you're gonna do it is through a pull-up bar, if you're at the gym, or a strength band. I like either or. So the whole point is when I jump, I'm gonna use this to help me jump higher than I normally do. So if I'm using a strength band, I'm gonna pull on it when I go down, and then explode up, and then stick the landing. When I stick the landing, because I'm jumping higher than I normally am, it's gonna be a little harder, but this is really gonna work on that eccentric overload for the tendon. So this, we don't work too many reps. We work just 5 reps in the beginning, then work our way to multiple reps. So if we're using the strength band, we squat down, then explode as high as we can, then we stick it. With that stick, like I mentioned, we're overloading that tendon. So when we land, I wanna land in this position where my knees and hips are bent. So I'm not gonna land too forward, I'm gonna land here. So I can be working on those muscles. And just to warn you, you might be a little sore. So to show you what 3 reps would look like is I'm here, I drop down, explode up, stick, and then stick. So you wanna work in that 3 to 5 rep range to really overload those tendons and those muscles so we can get that adaptation that we need. But this is a great exercise that you can do adjacent and adjunct with the other exercises in our Jumpers Knee online rehab program, which you could click in the link in the description. But you wanna do your isometrics, eccentrics, then also start adding in jumps into your rehab so you could build up that capacity of the tendon. Hopefully this all makes sense. Just to review, this is gonna be a way to overload the tendon so we can improve the capacity so you can withstand more activity so your tendon might not flare up when you're playing basketball until maybe the 4th quarter instead of early on in the 1st quarter. So a great way to just overload that tendon. And this is more of an eccentric. And we talk about isometrics, eccentrics on our online rehab program, but hopefully you guys learned a little bit about eccentric overload. And if you found this video helpful, hit the like, share, subscribe button. If you guys have any questions about this, comment below. We'll try to answer all the comments that you guys ask us to. And if you guys have any questions about other things, just ask us in the comments below. And we are the Basketball Doctors. Let's ball for life.